Greetings, heroes and Force users. Welcome back to Inside the Tauntaun, a podcast in the multiverse of fandom. I'm Alyssa Simmons, and I'm back. Thank goodness. And joined today by my friend, Daniel Dawson.
Hello there.
And today we are talking about the last two episodes of the Star Wars Disney Plus series, The Acolyte. Episode 7, Choice, and Episode 8, The Acolyte. Such a creative name for the finale. And by God, we're lesbians. Oh, sorry. We're Star Wars fans.
I don't know who you are or where you came from.
I am Iron.
I thought they smelled bad. On the outside.
Smells like a new car in here.
Inside the Tauntaun, this is our opening song. Alyssa, Daniel, Dino, talking nerd stuff, come along. Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.
I figured I had to take that opportunity. It's the only time I've really been able to do it.
It finally happened. I can't tell you how flipping pissed that I've been like talking about all these episodes
Without me here.
without you here. Like, it's just the
really-
show's got so many lesbians. God,
It really does.
yeah, it really is. Like,
Woo!
so like how like on a scale from 1 to 10, how hot and heavy did you feel?
10 being 10. Let's do 1 out of 10 scissors. How about?
You 10 scissors, yeah. How many scissors?
How many scissors did you feel? Honestly, I felt like it was like it was a great amount. It wasn't
a great
It's a
amount of
great-
scissors.
great amount of scissors we had. Because I mean, it would have felt to me forced to have like any
No, you said
actual, like,
force.
force choke. If like there would have been any like kissing or anything like
Yeah,
that. But
that's
like
fair.
the tensions were high. There was face stroking.
Mhm. I mean, you and as far as Star Wars goes, they might as well have been scissoring.
right. So happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Finally, God.
Wow.
Yeah, Jesus, God. Well, so like, what? I mean, I know that we're talking about episode 7 and 8. But like, you know,
Mhm.
should we generalize your feelings? I mean, generalize your feelings for the whole
I
show.
always want to generalize my feelings.
Yeah, do that, and then let's just end it.
That's the episode. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. Okay.
Probably
So
pooping.
it took me a minute to warm up,
Sure.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Episode 1, I was like, okay.
Sure.
Episode 2, I was a little bit like kind of starting to look at my phone.
Yeah, I
Dirty.
hear you.
Not
That's
a good sign. Not a good sign.
It's not a good sign.
Episode
I didn't
3,
have my phone because we were.
broke it?
I saw. Yeah, I broke it. No.
you
I
threw it at the wall because you were mad about all the women.
I hate this lesbian story. No, because I was seeing the first 2 episodes in the.
Oh yeah, you watched them live.
I watched the preview.
Okay, well, I think I would have liked that better because
and I did. I
just
feel like
been around all the energy and people hooping, and anytime a lightsaber went on, I'm sure there was like like that.
it was fairly chill, but it seemed like the general like temperature in the audience was just like, huh.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Like
yes.
a gentle enjoyment.
Yeah. Also,
There was
shout
no,
out,
there was
shout
no
out
seething anger.
Shout out
yet.
to Justin Jones who took
Oh,
my ticket to that event and
he
created
did.
an entire backstory of our relationship in order to get himself into that event. We're in a full-fledged relationship.
Yes.
Just so the internet knows.
It's been a long road.
I have known him for a very long time and I love him very much. But
Yeah, same.
yeah, but we're not together.
In a ship of sorts.
Yeah, we're in a ship.
Yeah, right.
Yes, a starship.
Starships.
So okay, yeah. So episode 2, I was just a little bit like, okay. And then episode
And then
3,
the lesbians came.
Here we come a-caroling with a bunch of lesbian witches.
Here we come a caroling.
And they were caroling. They
Yeah,
sang.
truly. They were
Okay.
caroling. I kind of, okay, like I've been like desperately waiting to ask you like what you thought about in that moment, like after they did their like little musical number, like
Yeah.
their Jellicle ball.
Their 32 bar cut of a witch chant.
Jellicles too.
Uh-huh.
There was like one of the extras, and I'm just curious whether they asked her to do that or if she like ad-libbed it.
The
And then-
cackle?
The cackle, she's like like an actual witch. I was like,
Everyone else is just like a serious singing witch, and then
if I directed this as a comedy, I would have like had like everybody in their like room stop and like look at her and be like,
a slow
"Get out.
look for sure.
get out."
Yeah, when it happened the first time, I was like, "Oh, that was weird," and then it happened again. It happened again, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
All
We
right.
just leaned in a little bit further.
These are lesbian witches. Got it.
Yeah. No, the cackle did make me laugh, and it also kind of reminded me of, and I brought this up the other day about something else, but it kind of reminded me of in My Best Friend's Wedding.
Oh,
I don't know how well you know that movie.
it's been a long
But
time, but I love that
There's a
film.
scene where Julia Roberts is looking for Cameron Diaz, is his character,
Yes,
and they're at like a sporting event or something, and
Okay.
they're in a big public place, and she goes
I
into the
truly have
bathroom.
no memory.
She goes into the bathroom and she's like, Kimmy, and she's yelling for Kimmy, and it honestly is one of my favorite moments in all movies ever. There's an insane woman in the bathroom that every single time she yells Kimmy, she responds like this. So she's like, Kimmy, and she goes, Kimmy, Kimmy, and it's like it's not even they don't bring it up, like they don't like
Like, who was that lady?
yeah, so it reminded me of the Kimmy moment, if I'm
And you
being
wonder,
honest.
like, how it made its way in the movie. Like, it just must have been like, because assumedly, like, because you don't just come
Oh,
up with shit like that.
No, it definitely had to have been written, and it was hilarious.
And somebody must have like had that experience at some point,
Yeah.
like for real.
Yeah, calling for somebody in some insane person is just like repeating whatever they're saying.
And honestly, probably was me.
Yeah,
because
no,
it sounds like something that
definitely
I
your
would
track.
do.
That's definitely your track in My Best Friend's Wedding. the
I don't know
movie.
about you, but I definitely like in a public restroom several times actually. If somebody like really lets one loose,
What
it's
do you
just
do?
super loud. I will actually like applaud very loudly.
Of course you will. Of course you will.
Just to make them feel as comfortable as possible.
yeah.
You know,
Or
like
now,
they're at
now
home.
you could yell out that, like, because apparently we all just learned that I think you burn like 62 calories every time you fart.
What? Why am I not like the most shredded?
I texted you this information, and you were like, "So I'm a supermodel?
I
So
Wow.
I am a Victoria's Secret model?" Is what you're
yeah.
saying.
I'm gonna go to In-N-Out every night because I can.
Yeah. So
Um,
you're a master calorie burner.
mastery calorie
Um,
fodder.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, we've got to get back to the generals.
Right.
So after episode 3, I was like, okay, I'm locked
Here we
and
go.
loaded. Here we go. I
Mhm.
also think just like the general like vibe of the show
Yeah,
was clearer to me from episode 3 forward.
certainly. And
Maggie
like,
agrees.
yeah, she's like a baroo. Oh,
Oh, she's really
very
mad.
in agreement. But so there was no seething anger.
Oh, definitely not. No,
Oh,
I was just a little bit like, I'm not totally like in it.
Yeah. You,
But-
you were definitely more enjoying it than not enjoying it. Is what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
for sure. But
Yeah.
then episode 3, I was like, okay, yeah, this is some good Star Wars that we haven't had this kind of like feel yet.
Yeah, it does. It feels very unique. And it's kind of like it's funny I say this now, but like, you know, judging off of our last episode, it might be a little different. But I mean, we like up until like the very end, it was like we were experiencing a whole brand new Star Wars that with
Mhm.
no attachments to any
Other
of the other.
characters and
which is
Yeah,
like,
and I
oh,
was
this
really
is so
interested to see,
fun.
because I read a lot of the High Republic comics, and I read Light of the Jedi, the first High
I'm
Republic novel.
Oh, you actually finished it.
I did, yeah.
I'm still working on it.
Oh
It's
my
been
gosh,
like how many
Daniel, it's been
years?
years.
It's been actual years since
In
it came
actual
out.
years.
It takes me
I think
years to
2
actually
years,
finish
probably.
books. It really does.
You should listen to the audiobook. It's so
Yeah,
good.
you're right. I really should.
Yeah.
Is that how you did it?
I did half and half.
Oh, interesting.
So I
A
like
cream?
what?
Yes.
Half and half cream. Yes. I like would read a couple chapters, and then whenever I was jogging and stuff, I would read. I would listen. I would not read.
Like, wait, what? Look,
When I
there
was
she
home-
goes, the girl's range for
When I was home,
special.
I would listen. When I was jogging, I was reading.
Got it.
Look
there she goes.
Yeah, so I was expecting some of those characters to be around, but we also weren't exactly
like
sure.
Vernestra.
Yeah, so she was there, and there were a few other nods and mentions to stuff from High Republic comics and the novel.
And that was exciting for me because it was just like, oh my god,
you knew that part. You knew that part because you read that. You read.
I was
the
like,
beginning
I know
of the
something
book.
from a book. I feel so learned.
Yeah. So, in the flashback scene, in episode 7,
Yeah.
Master Indara says 100 years ago, this planet was cataloged as lifeless because of a hyperspace disaster. Yet this planet, Brendok, is thriving. So,
Thriving with life.
Yeah. So this hyperspace disaster that she is referring to.
Spoiler alert if you want to read the books.
Yeah, it happens in the first 5 pages of the book.
True.
So it's really not spoiling much. But yeah, there's this disaster that basically wipes out most planets and most life.
Basically, like a
planets.
ship crashes while in hyperspace, a giant ship, and all of the pieces come flying out of hyperspace and destroy literal worlds.
Yeah. So
Very
it's really. Yeah, I'm kind of dying to see that in live action form. If I'm being honest,
that would be crazy pants.
Yeah, but
that sounds way too expensive.
Yeah, for sure. So that was one. That was one mention, and then the other mention was the Barash vow. Did you and Josie talk about that?
when he's doing his where he's he hasn't spoken to anybody in 16 years or some shit. I was like, yeah.
So the Barash vow was an oath taken by a Jedi who completely refrained from all activities related to the Jedi Order as a form of penitence, disengaging from anything but the Force and committing themselves to gain ultimate communion with it.
Now, one thing they don't really describe in there though is, I mean, I'm certain that I can't be the only person that's thought about it, but
I'll be the judge of that.
I'll be the judge of that. I mean, do they get to take breaks for poopies? Poopies and peepees? And eating food? Or is it this does it kind of put them in a weird sort of stasis?
I think it puts them in a kind of a coma state.
Wow.
That's at least what I gathered from it, but
so my God, I mean that's a really intense way of doing what's that thing called where you don't eat for several hours?
Fasting?
Okay. Yeah, fasting, intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting
for very intense
for many
version.
years. Yeah. But yeah, so that was exciting, and just kind of seeing the general Jedi robes and stuff, what all the knights looked like then. I love that color palette.
The style is cool.
The cream and gold and
it's
all
more
that
polished.
Yeah, it just feels more religious than
that's interesting too. They're crusaders almost.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you bring that up.
Yeah, because that was definitely a little theme in the finale for sure.
Yeah, it's I think that their goal and I think that they succeeded at least in that in this theme alone. they made us feel uncomfortable and weird about the Jedi. Like, or
Right.
like
Like
made
you're
us have
seeing
complicated feelings about the Jedi.
how people would have had really problematic feelings about
Yeah.
their behavior and about, I mean, just this alone, it's like if this happened, then how many other kind of cover-ups and bad situations happened where they thought, you know, that they were doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
but they were really not.
And they have, like, the fact that they have the way to manipulate the Force gives them a huge advantage into like covering things up, you know, like they can
Yeah.
erase people's memories. I mean, come on. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's there's some potentially super shady stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel really spooky about Vernestra now, which is so sad
Oh,
because she's like
I
she's
know.
like a huge hero in all the books, from what I understand.
She is, but I think it's, I don't know. I like it. I like that it's complicated.
Yeah, me too.
I really do. It makes for a much more complex and rich character development
Yeah.
to have it be like this than just like, oh yeah, she's a good guy superhero girl.
And so so yeah, I mean, generally then do you feel like they landed the plane? Why don't we start there? Like, do you feel like we had a very complete story and you feel satiated, etc.?
I do. Yeah, I do. I felt like
Like if they like canceled this show, which, you know, I guess is plausible. Although I kind of I think that they're going to go through with it, regardless of what the people have been saying. Because, you know, I don't know if you follow the, you know, the interwebs and such, but it is like, I think it was one of the most downloaded shows they've ever had. Like
Oh,
in
wow.
this,
Okay.
like in the Star Wars Disney Plus things. Also, it was trending like on, you know, what do you call it? X
Whatever the
a
hell
lot,
that
because
thing's called
it just made everybody talk about it, even though they were
Yeah.
like angry, they were still
Yeah,
talking about it.
that's definitely something to be said. Like regardless of whether it's a home run or not, it's like people are talking about it. So
Yeah,
they're getting people talking.
I have a feeling, for better or for worse, like they will definitely do a season
I think
2.
they'll do a season 2 for sure. I don't, there's just a lot of like open-ended things that happened in the finale. So
Yeah,
I mean,
they definitely left. They answered numerous,
mhm.
they answered a lot of questions that we had. It was it was a hard structure of a show, because, like, man, there were so many mysteries that they like made at the very beginning of the show. We didn't get like hardly any answers until like almost the last breath of the show, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Were
But
there
there's still a lot more to answer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which I like.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want everything wrapped up in a neat little bow.
No, it doesn't need to.
I want some stuff wrapped up, but
Gotta give us a little tease.
yeah.
Although we got quite a large tease.
We got some really juicy teases.
Juicy teases.
That's what my nickname was in college.
Juicy teases. Juicy scissor teases.
That's such a gross name.
Ew.
Oh, here comes Juicy Tease.
Why
Why is she juicy?
I don't want to know.
So yeah, I do think that they landed the plane. What about you?
Yeah, I think so too. I think that generally I enjoyed myself. Like, I think if we're going to talk about like dialogue in particular, like there was some really cool stuff in there, but generally I think that the dialogue kind of left a little bit to be desired.
Was the weakest. That was the weakest part for me.
Yeah, and maybe like some of the structuring of the mystery, like, you know, I think that maybe they could have told that in a, I don't know whether it was a different order or if it was because again, I'm not a writer, so I can't really tell you like how it would be better. Of course, there are a lot of people out there that think they are, which I think is
true.
Hilarious. They're like, oh my god, it would have been so much better if it was like this. I was like, are you sure though?
Get
You know
over
that?
yourself. Get a grip.
Yeah, or get a job and write the fucking show.
And prove us wrong.
Yeah,
okay?
just prove it. Prove it.
Prove it. Got it.
But I mean, Star Wars writing has never been like
No.
Shakespeare either. I mean, we did get a taste
we've
of some very like surprisingly good writing in Andor.
Yes, and I think a lot of the dialogue in Ahsoka worked really well.
Yeah, for the most part, I think.
I think that there were
were
lots of moments that felt
cool,
like good Star Wars dialogue to me.
Yeah. Star Wars. So
But
yeah,
I do agree with you there. It did struggle in that way.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily like it obviously wasn't a deal breaker for me because I was still enjoying myself, and I was getting a lot of enjoyment, honestly, out of the I mean, of course I was annoyed by a lot of the rigmarole on the internet of people just saying like, oh my god, the Jedi would never do this, and then like it's just so funny because it's so easily like disproven because there's like
yes.
Like
no,
I love the
Josie
people on the
posted,
internet.
I'm guessing y'all talked about it. I didn't listen to your episode. I'm sorry.
What the hell?
Get out of here.
It's all right. I don't think anybody else did either.
Shoot.
That's a lie.
He reshared something that someone tweeted that was basically like, if this show is making you that mad, like just take a break from Star Wars.
Yeah, don't watch it then.
Like take a break. Don't watch a couple of things. If you feel like tuning back in, then tune back in. But like, as we know, and we have said this on this podcast a bajillion times, like Star Wars A New Hope, like it was made as its own thing. Like it was not known at that time that Darth Vader was going to be Luke's father, that Luke and Leia were going to be twins, or that all of these pieces that are Star Wars to us, like they were not known when A New Hope came out.
No.
And so it just really frustrates me when Star Wars fans like to get up on
They're breaking the canon
horse. It's like, okay, well then just don't consume everything. You don't have
that's
to.
All right. It's all right.
You don't have to.
And if you're worried about them breaking canon, they literally do that in every show.
Every single show. Every single book, every single comic. Like it is just the way that it is.
And also, like, I mean, it's not necessarily always good writing, but like, if everything was predictable and like, as you think it would happen, like that'd be boring as shit.
Yeah, why watch that even?
Like the reason why we freaking love Empire Strikes Back is because like they broke canon, if you want to call it that, and made Darth Vader his father. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I think if I was gonna like give it a grade, if I was gonna give it like twins or scissors,
scissors today.
Scissors today. Scissors today, scissors tomorrow. I would give it like 7 scissors.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I generally enjoyed it. I think I would probably like a high C plus or something.
A high C.
A high C orange. Yeah.
Delicious.
I love high C orange. I used to get at McDonald's. I used to do like when I was in like junior high. I would eat a 20-piece chicken McNuggets, a
20?
super size,
oh my god, Daniel.
a super size fries, and a super size high C orange. And I'm still alive.
And somehow he doesn't have diabetes yet.
I don't have diabetes yet.
I'm so glad you don't.
Yeah, allegedly. But I do have to watch my cholesterol.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good, but I'm glad
good.
I'm glad that you're watching it.
I just really like steak.
I want you to live.
Thank you.
I think I would give it like a B minus.
So about
similar to what you like. How about
scissors.
like a 79? A 79 scissors.
79 scissors.
79 scissors %.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't understand any of the way that we're rating these things today.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, you don't. And it's because I'm a woman, okay?
That's right. And you're not listening to her anyways.
Yeah, you literally plug your ears and go, la, 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 la,
ladies talking. I don't even know why we have you on this show. It doesn't make any
I
sense.
know. You probably got a lot more followers with me gone for the last couple of months.
Oh God, no, we didn't. We actually
Oh my.
didn't.
All right. Well, we'll see if we lose any today.
we
Fingers
definitely will
crossed.
lose some today for
Fingers
sure.
crossed.
But we definitely didn't gain any. That's for sure.
You know.
Oh, I was gonna say too. Like generally speaking, like I don't know. I thought that the lightsaber stuff was gonna be cool, but like I was not expecting him to be that like super fucking legit.
That
like,
was really cool.
We got some cool, like really cool choreo.
And also
Stuff that we
really
haven't seen before.
Really cool shots. I mean, the inside shot of the saber with the kyber crystal turning red was delicious.
Can we talk about it? I mean, like, that's like a very momentous, like, historical moment in Star Wars canon. Like,
we haven't seen that. I mean,
it exists in Star Wars.
It exists,
like, lore.
but we have not seen it in live action form. That was thrilling.
Very, very cool, and the way it looked was
looked
rad.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I started getting goosebumps when the kyber crystal was turning.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it too. And
then the full blown saber transformation was like,
ooh. But also the context of it too was dope because, like, you know, he's like admitting to killing her mother, and then like, you know, I did it because, like, you know, I wanted to give you everything you wanted. I want you because you wanted to be part of the Jedi, and I did it because of that. And then he said he was about to say it's because I love you, and like he didn't.
Which
she didn't
we've
even
not.
let him
I mean,
finish.
the only Star Wars I love you we've gotten is Han and Leia. Right?
Yeah. Is that true?
I feel like it's the only.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Wait, not even Anakin to.
Does Anakin say it to Padme?
I feel like he had to, right?
I don't know. I can't think of it.
I love you, Padme.
We need to know.
And I want to kill these children. I can't remember. Wow, I gotta
sand.
But I love you.
I love you.
But the fact that I
mean, that was whoa.
Very whoa. Yeah, I that was a very dope moment.
Did you think she was gonna kill him?
Yeah. Wait, that she was gonna kill. She was gonna kill I don't know about that. I thought that he was gonna. I had a very good feeling that he was gonna die, but actually, I did not. I don't know why it didn't pass my mind. I thought it was gonna be Chimera, and then she was like, "How could you?" And then she was gonna like try to kill Chimera,
right.
and then like
that.
And then we would have like because like she would have killed Chimera, and that would have been like the last journey into her Sith thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was shocked by that.
Yeah.
That was
shocking. It was cool. Very, very cool. And you know, I think the other thing, if we're gonna sort of generally speak, a complaint, and I think it's, you know, it's a fairly you know, complaint that deserves some I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Deserves some airtime.
Yes, some airtime. Sure.
Okay.
They in interviews they were telling us that the show was going to be like, you know, through the eyes of the Sith. You know what I mean? Like we were going to see like this was like a Sith story, you know?
Yes.
But what it kind of feels like is that this has been a big like this is it's like in volleyball, there's like the serving, like they're serving the ball, and like season 2 is now going to be
way more. Well, yeah, because she's going to be
the story of the Sith.
Yeah, because Osha's going to be, you know, an actual Sith Padawan, and we've got. I guess we can talk about it now. We've obviously got Darth Plagueis, who
fucking Darth
hiding
Plagueis.
in a cave at the moment.
Oh my God! So so in these episodes that you haven't been here for, we have been talking about Darth Plagueis as a like potential option for where this could go. Mm-hmm. Although we said it was we were trying to curb our, you know, we were like, just take deep breaths. You know, this is like we didn't want to get disappointed. But holy shit, there he was.
That was just enough too. That was just enough. Having his hands out and you
being
just
so
see,
sneaky. I love that he's already become a meme now.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. How could he not?
What was the meme that we got today about Darth Plagueis? Oh, it was so funny.
You sent it, right?
No, it wasn't me. I think it was Dino.
Oh.
Well, I'm so angry that's not here right now. He's currently in Kansas. No, sorry, he's in Missouri.
He's in Missouri.
doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No, Willy Wonka and the
Willy
Chocolate.
Wonka.
Willy.
Wait, no,
Willy
Charlie.
Wonka. Willy Wonka.
No, it is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The
It
musical.
is okay, but yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
playing.
It's one or the other. He's
Willy
playing Willy
Wonka.
Wonka, for God's sake.
Holy crap! So if you're in Missouri,
Go
go check
there
him
and
out.
see Dino do.
But he's stressed. Stay
Wonka stuff.
open, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm the lead. I
He's
need
literally
to know."
doing a show right now, Daniel.
It's possible.
No,
It's
he
possible.
is. That's why he's not recording with us. He was like,
Wait,
I'm
Thursday. He hasn't opened up yet.
They have preview tonight.
They're
That's what he
previewing.
said.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
that's
Yeah,
what he said.
actually,
He said, I literally have a show. Daniel
whatever.
has selective
Dino.
hearing.
That is correct.
I think his response to Dino being like, I can't, I've got a show. Daniel's like, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody's not dedicated.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Dino was just losing his little Sith loving mind when he
Yeah.
saw Plagueis. We can speak for him in that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the perfect amount, but I agree though. They did say that it was going to be
The Sith story.
the Sith story, and I don't think it was actually. I think
Which,
it was,
I mean,
I think it was
if I went and watched it again and like thought
Mhm.
about it, like this is like Osha's transfer to being like a dark-sided Sith.
Mm.
Like it might. I'm curious if it would sort of change my opinion of that because
Well, yeah, the thing is we got a lot of new information in the last 2 episodes, right?
we did.
Like we didn't know why she ultimately left her Jedi training.
Right.
And then we learned in the finale that the full reason that she left it is because she could not release her anger
right.
towards May, towards,
And that's why
The
she's
fired.
a lesbian.
and that's why.
That's why
kids.
that's why all lesbians are angry. that's
Jesus.
why. It's true.
So yeah, so we didn't get that part. So I guess that's a good thought, Daniel.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe we watch it again and see if we feel differently about now that we know what we know.
But and that's kind of going back to the writing being a little wonky because like if there was like even like slivers of reveals like of these like later reveals like of them having them a little earlier on,
Mhm.
so there was at least a few more hints of like kind of where it was going.
Did you guess that Manny, what's his character's name?
Manny?
Well, the actor is Manny.
Oh,
Manny, who
Mandy
plays,
Patinkin.
Chimere.
Oh, Chimere.
Chimere?
Yes. Chimere.
Did you guess
Hottie
that,
McHottenstein is what
well,
his name is.
Yes, this is gonna be your section of the show called Gay Porn.
Daniel's got boners.
Called
I was just like,
how hot and heavy did these sections make you?
oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, did you know that he was the Sith? Like,
Oh,
Lord?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I wasn't saying like 100% that's who it is, but like
but you felt pretty confident about it.
it was in the night episode. It was kind of a pretty dead giveaway, like where he was like,
Yeah.
they like May left him like hanging in the trees. He's just like, and like she goes and like says, well, I'm gonna like tell on you and I'm gonna go and become a Jedi and blah, 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 blah. Like literally saying like her whole plan. I was like, May, that's kind of not smart.
You dumb girl.
And then just like leaves him like dangling there. I was just like,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden, like the guy arrives and was like, that's a little too convenient. So
Yeah.
I was pretty sure, at least at that point. I know that before it was a potential option because like him being this kind of bumbling, like,
Sure.
well, I'm a Sith, but I don't know what I'm doing. I just
Did you
make
watch
poisons.
The Good Place? Did you watch him on that show?
No, I didn't. So this is actually,
Okay.
I think, my first dip with him,
Oh
and
my
I've
gosh,
heard
he
he's
is
like excellent in a good place.
So funny on The Good Place. Like could not be
The
a more
breadth
different
of his
character.
range.
And I'm sure you loved his bathing scene.
Yes, I did.
And you wished that it was not cropped.
Yeah, if I
where it
was-
was.
If I was Osha, I would have jumped right in. I've been like, okay.
Well,
Give
there's
me this-
definitely some tension with them. with the
Yeah,
two of
it's a
them.
little like honestly, like a little triggering, to be honest, because it's spooky, because it feels very and we spoke about this in the other episodes that we did.
It feels like predatory.
Yeah, predatory. Like it's like he's grooming this girl.
Yeah, a little bit, but he's a bad guy.
But I mean,
I'm really
who knows?
sorry to do this, but I don't have my computer plugged in and it's about to die.
Oh.
So I have to plug it in.
Go,
Hold on.
Please. I'm just gonna go. It's still happening. I don't remember the rest of the song, so you're gonna have to get back here soon. Oh, thank God she's back. Jesus God. Please put on your damn earmuffs. Oh, thank God. We're not going to cut that.
No, please don't.
No, we won't.
How embarrassing.
She's plugged in, though?
She's plugged.
Thank God. Thank God. But yeah, so she's being groomed.
She's being groomed. Anyways, welcome back. The Me Too movement in Star Wars.
But it's interesting because I mean, it feels like I mean, the only thing that kind of makes me feel better, question mark. I don't know if that's the right word, but it seems like, you know, like I will feel better about it if like it isn't just a he's doing this to manipulate her, like he actually really like
has the feels.
Yeah, if he's got the feels for her, like I'll be like, okay, but like she's definitely falling for it. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she wants to see that dick.
And she did.
She did.
She did see that.
She did. She did.
Okay, let me look at my notes here for my other things that I like.
Also same.
Sorry,
go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I just have them. They're just kind of random and they're out of order. So if you've got something that's relevant for now, go ahead.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine.
I just wanted to bring up again, since we're talking about Chimere, the fact that he says he's old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember, I think it was in episode 7.
Yes.
Right?
That sounds right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, flirting and naked and weird. And if
you're not gonna join me in this water,
you don't want to swim with my arms, my sexy arms. That's how he talks. I don't. Exactly he mentions. I wish I could bring up the actual quote that he says because, he kind of gives off he gave off the vibe to her as if like he was old, or much older than she thinks he is. Which is interesting. Because Vernestra, do we know how old she is?
I don't.
Because that's one part of the timeline that I'm not really 100% sure. Like, for instance, that big event that you're talking about where the hyperspace disaster happens. Like, how many years prior to this show does that take place?
She said 100.
Oh, 100.
She said 100 years ago. So, and that was in the flashback, which was 16 years ago.
So, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, somewhere within those 100 years, she gets and I think actually, from what I understand in the books, which I haven't completely read all of them, she does get a Padawan.
Yes, she does.
And I know that there's people on the internet that are already trying to connect the dots and say that they're the same person. Chimere is this guy or something.
I feel like my mind went to what has he been doing with the Force to potentially like eliminate aging.
That was kind of where my mind went too.
Is that where your mind went?
Yes, okay. Like because they're manipulating the midichlorians so that they can kind of extend their lifespan.
Right.
Is what it
sounds like. That seems like that's why that hint was dropped.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then which would probably make it more confusing for Vernestra.
Right, because she was like, what did she say? She was
She's like, you're still alive or something like that.
Yeah.
Like how is that even possible? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, something
Mhm.
screwy is happening.
For sure.
So it's whatever Plagueis has been up to. At least,
Mhm.
you know, we're assuming a lot of things because it could be one of two things. Well, and maybe not just one of two. It could be numerous things, but
Well, these are the two that you're thinking about.
yeah, either Plagueis already knows what he's doing, like he already learned
Okay.
how to like manipulate midichlorians to like create life.
Mhm.
And also potentially even extend life. Or potentially even like learning the witches' ways of like bringing people back from the fucking dead.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Chimera is sort of like, you know, one of those experiments.
Yeah, I buy that.
You know?
Yeah, we've got a lot of like mystery in that way from what's happened. Like we don't really know how the witches were able to create Osha and May.
Right.
We really don't know, you know, how far Plagueis is in his journey here.
Yeah, and
And
is he like it does he actually have is he like in the background like just taking notes because he wants to learn from the witches,
right.
or has he had some kind of an effect on these witches so
It
they
could be. I mean,
what
because
came
they're
first,
on
the
the
chicken or
same
the Plagueis?
Brandock, right? We don't know
Brandock,
how
right.
long he's been there. So
Well, right, and it kind of gives off the vibe because you know we learned from the witches in that episode 3, I think, that they were kicked out of Coruscant
yeah, they
or
were
wherever they
exiled everywhere
exiled.
they
Well, maybe
went.
not necessarily
Mhm.
Coruscant, but they're just exiled.
They're like my ancestors, the Mormons.
Yeah, right. So they moved west. And
This is the place.
this
All
is the
right.
place. Yeah,
We're
we're
all
gonna call
married.
Brendock is
Multiple
now
wives. Welcome.
Brendock is now Utah. Um,
Honestly, sure.
Sure. So, but how they found this place in particular
Mm.
is also like maybe they just didn't like happen upon it. They were sort of like led there.
Right. Well, we've got some kind of info-ish on that with
Oh,
like
really?
why the Jedi were even on Brandock. Because they were specifically there to study the virgins.
Convergence, yes.
No, just virgins.
Sorry, just virgins.
Not con. Get that.
They're
word.
virgins. They
They're
haven't had
virgins.
this.
None of
this
them have.
planet has not had intercourse yet. It's the virgins.
She's a virgin. She's a big girl. We don't know if it'll ever happen.
She's a
for
big girl.
But yeah, so virgins is the force powerful concentrations of energy found across the galaxy. So I'm guessing they just like picked up on this energy and were like, we gotta go see what the hell
Gotta see what's
happened
up here. But they were looking
So-
for proof of it.
Yes, because when this virgence occurs, it can amplify force wielders' power. And a cool thing that we saw in both episodes, actually the last couple, I think 6 through 8.
Yeah.
What were force users being able to hear like past things that had happened.
Oh, right. Which if you've played the video games,
that happens there,
is
right?
called a force echo.
Ah.
Yes, very,
That's
very
good.
cool. Where you can basically like sort of touch an item or, you know, maybe a place where they sat and you can sort of hear what happened there. Like they've left a trace, almost like a ghost in a way.
Yeah.
Sort of repeating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, so that was cool to see that.
And also very interesting too. Sorry, we're jumping around, but Vernestra, basically like because she knows that that's a thing, that she's like because she's on that Brendock, and she's like listening to all these voices, and she's just like, oh my god, I know what happened. She's like, I need to burn the bodies. I need there to be zero evidence, and we need to move away from this.
Oh my gosh.
Which is so creepy and weird.
It is really creepy. It's very it's a part of Star Wars space politics that we definitely have not seen.
Yeah.
And it feels really bad.
Icky.
Icky. One thing that I thought about in with going back to the Jellicle ball with the the cackle.
We're lesbians.
Well, why didn't any of the other ones cackle like this?
It was just that one chick.
The one.
No.
Oh boy. But the way that they all kind of like chanted and sang together,
the power of many.
Yes, the power of one, the power of many. In The Light of the Jedi, Avar Kriss,
yes,
she kind of describes the way that she feels and hears the Force.
I love her method.
Music. Yeah, so each Jedi, she describes it as each Jedi sounds like a different instrument.
Yeah.
And when everything is working together, she calls it the Song of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was thinking of during that time.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she I think that like I remember reading that and thinking like, oh my god, what an OP like thing that she has the ability to do. The fact that she can just reach out like pretty far is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
To hear sort of like touch each Force user and like it sounds like a long ways. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, the song may have a more of a purpose than just we're celebrating and it's a song
right.
because we're witches. Yeah, they could be like pulling the thread with their voice, as it were. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Alyssa.
I think it's a cool.
See, we needed a lesbian on the show.
You needed it
to understand.
You needed it.
What the lesbians are doing.
Let me just read the rest. I only have a few more notes.
Oh,
but
good.
I wrote, lesbian witch force pregnancy. Get into it.
That's the news title.
That's the name of this episode. Probably.
Yes. Get into it.
I was really excited to see David Harewood. He played the Senator Rayencourt.
Oh yeah, and he's great.
He's awesome. He had a recurring role on Supergirl, the DC show in the Arrowverse on the CW.
Was it good?
I love it.
Oh, great.
He plays John Jones, who's the Green Martian, and he's freaking awesome in that. And I was really thrilled to see him, and in a part that I assume we're going to be seeing more of. Since
for sure, yeah.
I don't like this. You're trying to. I loved what he said about like the Jedi are a cult hiding in the shape of a religion.
It does kind of feel like he basically is sort of the voice of the writers. Like he was saying like that, like this is how we feel about and it really is kind of the thesis of the show almost in a sense.
Yeah. And my last note was Basil is annoying.
I don't but isn't he adorable?
No.
And so funny, he's a freaking beaver, and we're in this like lesbian
Not a beaver.
Did we not put two and two together? I know that they did that on purpose. I know that they did. Oh jeez. My other notes were
me.
My other notes were I got a lot of Matrix vibes with
just having what's her head.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, definitely that was what put my head in that place for sure. But May and Osha fighting together was very it definitely gave me those vibes of Agent what was his name? Agent Smith and Neo.
Yes.
It's that yin and yang thing because they're basically sort of. I mean, they're not the same, but kind of the same.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I do.
But yeah, that's a mystery that we still don't know what the hell. Like they're the same person,
They're the same
but split,
person, but separated. Like what?
and to what end? Why? You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Why not just
like,
wrap them into one person? What was that? Was it a mistake? Was it that even supposed to happen?
I don't know, but there's a lot of mysteries. There's also a lot of theories going on since like both of the mothers of the girls like that like dissipated thing.
Oh,
like
right, the
thinking,
big poofing.
Did they
times.
somehow like merge with the girls, like, and their spirits are still like living in
that's
them?
interesting.
That's a theory that's going on. That's kind of,
they're soul suckers.
well, because, and then I think a reason, and I'm just thinking about this now, when
your mother's been inside you the whole time,
quite literally. When Osha had the
helmet
on, and she made
cortosis. Is that what it's called?
That sounds right.
Sure.
But she made Chimere. She made Chimere. This is just an episode of me saying his name wrong. Chimere.
Chimere.
Chimere. She made his eyeballs go black.
Right.
Like
and he looked
mom
nervous.
Yeah, he was like, "What's going on?" And she was not doing that. Like she wasn't aware that she was.
Didn't seem
that.
purposeful. Yeah.
And she wasn't trained. I mean, they weren't trained by after they were what, like 10 years old or something.
8, I think.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, for sure.
So maybe there's some type of like energy transfer that happened when one of the moms died.
Somebody's pulling some strings for sure.
Yeah.
And there was another little like very off the cuff line that I can't remember if it was May or Osha that says because when they're having their like really tearful goodbye and they're saying their little little nursery rhyme for one last time. But then
I don't need to hear that nursery rhyme anymore. I don't.
No, and we probably won't. Well, no, we're definitely gonna hear that again.
We're gonna hear that again
for sure. Yeah. It's maybe not for a while, but but she's like randomly says out of nowhere, like, "Who even taught us that?"
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
she did say that. Yeah.
What a weird thing to kind of like spit out. But that's very interesting too, because like we all just assumed it was something they learned from their moms,
right?
But it sounds like it might have been somebody else.
Well, yeah, because this power of 2 thing is a real Sith.
Yeah.
Thread.
Sithy.
So for sure.
So
Sithy.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Like it kind of. I don't know if this is what they're trying to allude to, but at least in my head, I'm thinking, oh, maybe Plagueis was more hands-on than we think he is.
Yeah, that checks out, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, maybe, or maybe, I don't know.
I actually do have a question for you about Plagueis because him being like, oh, sneaky, just sort of creep in the background. Do you feel like, and like it's weird that he wouldn't have just made himself known, like, hello, I'm Darth Plagueis, welcome to. Unknown planet.
Yeah.
So do we feel like he's in cahoots with Chimere? Oh my god, I just said it wrong now too. It's a disease.
Kumar.
Yeah, do we feel like he's in cahoots with Chimere, or do we feel like Chimere, because he did say like early on, like his goal, Chimere, is that he wants to be free to like to free to dance and sing. He wants to do dork-sided shit the way that he wants to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that makes me feel like he's kind of like sneaking away, or at least he thinks he's sneaking away from Plagueis. And Plagueis is like, I know what you're up to. I'm going to let it happen because what's happening is very interesting.
Yeah, and I potentially this might work for me.
Yeah, it might work in my favor, but I'm going to keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm leaning, but I'm curious if you think that like he actually is in cahoots with him. He knows, like Chimere knows that he's there, and like whatever.
I feel like he knows he's there.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
I feel like he knows he's there, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know.
It's a fun mystery.
It is. A mystery.
It's a fun little mystery. And also whether or not Plagueis is the only man in town right. If he's the only man in town right now, because in the well, is it canon? I can't remember if it's 100% canon or if it's still part of the legends.
The legends books.
Yeah, like if Chimere, because Chimere also has a master, or at least maybe had a master. I'm not sure whether or not his master still exists, or if Plagueis in this story, like Plagueis has already killed that guy off, and now it's just Plagueis and Chimere.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the whole time you were saying master, I was like, Vernestra? I was like, no, the Sith master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it does sound like Chimere. It feels like they're alluding to Chimere, like learned all he learned from Plagueis.
Sure.
And decided that he's just like, I want to do it my way, and I'm going to look for my acolyte. Found her, and now wants to do dork-sided shit the way he wants to do it. And so the big hint that we all got from episode, was it 6? It was the day episode, right? Because it was night and then day.
Yes.
We got the like very, very clear signals that we're talking about, either something to do with, either we're going to get some like parallels to Ben, or Ren, or wait, why am I forgetting his name? It's not Darth Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Fuck. Darth Ren.
Good old Darth Ren.
God. So yeah, I'm curious whether we were all saying like, oh, this is gonna be like an origin story of the Knights of Ren. Like that would be interesting. But then it's if that was the case, they completely left that very open.
Yeah. Maybe it was just a little breadcrumb that they were like, we could do something with this if we wanted, but also we don't have to.
And the other side of the coin was that they thought that potentially it was just like we want you to think of that moment where like Kylo Ren killed his dad, like, and that was sort of his like last journey into the dark side kind of thing. So there's like, there's some parallels going on.
Yeah.
So I guess it could be just as simple as that, but
I wanted to say I really loved the music in this.
Yeah, the music was great.
Michael Abels, who's done a lot of the Jordan Peele films. He did Get Out, Us, and Nope.
Oh, we did. We talked about that. That's right.
Yeah, I just want to.
He's very
shout
good
him out.
At what we said on a previous episode. He's very good at creating tension. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like Star Wars music, but it also was a little bit unique and different to this show. So I always appreciate when it's hard sometimes with Star Wars too, because it's like John Williams,
so iconic.
Like, how do you do that?
How do you improve upon something that's just so iconically beautiful,
so good? Yeah, but I really liked it a lot. I thought it.
Yeah, he added some new themes that were like quite memorable, I think. Like I thought that it was so unique and very abrupt that like, I was like, oh, we've never heard this before. Like the very last frames of the show where they're kind of like holding, like, well, I guess they're kind of holding lightsabers.
Yes,
looking out into the sunset. But then you hear this like these violins are you know, it was like very like new sound, like kind of almost sounded like parts of Beetlejuice, which is interesting.
Danny
But
Elfman is
yeah,
also a genius.
so fucking great. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so that's all very interesting. I'm jumping around because I just wanted to make sure to get through all my stupid notes. Yep, I said that already. I've said Vernestra's up to something spooky, right? She's ashamed of her protecting
spooky
the
girl.
So yeah, I mean, like she effing whipped Chimere. Like that's like I think much more than implied.
Oh,
like the scar on his back.
Well, the
is
scar on
from
his back,
her.
and she's got a saber whip. So yeah,
Put
it's
2
her.
and 2 together.
It's her. Yeesh.
Yeah. Whoops. That's very spooky. Yeah. I kind of like took a little like dive off the deep end. Like my other like crazy theory is that like we're slowly finding out that the real villain of this story, because you know we have these sort of anti-heroes now, the Sith. Like we don't really normally root for the dark side, but
no,
it kind of feels like we're the villain in the story is Vernestra.
I think so too,
potentially, which is
I think so too, because it's like
interesting.
Yeah, we haven't seen this in live action form. Like watching the Jedi completely crumble.
And also there's a kind of a throwaway too, like it's very short, but she's like having a little sneaky meeting, a sneaky little video chat with, well, not video chat, I guess doesn't like a conference call chat in the conference room or control room. Yeah. And she's talking to some other senator, right? Or was it senator ? I don't know. Some other dude who, interestingly enough, some people are like, and I'm just like, oh man. I mean, I'm not sure if I would really want them to do this because it might be just a little, I don't know how it'd feel. They just need to really land the plane. But people are saying, oh, that guy sounds a lot like Ian McDiarmid.
Oh, yes. I have seen
the guy on the phone that
flying around.
So, and you know, they you know, we've already
I mean,
but it's interesting because they're planting breadcrumbs already about like extending life, you know, through the Force. You know, if Chimere is already much older than he looks, then you know how old like is Senator Palpatine. Like, is he actually older than he says he is? Like, maybe he's like over 100 years old.
Could be.
And he's like, but that doesn't really make much sense to me because he is, I think he says he's a senator. So I feel like people would be like, this senator's been a senator for maybe a little too long. Should we vote him out?
He just does that thing where he's like, he pretends like it's his like grandchild. Just
sure.
Exactly like
he just keeps on putting on different mustaches.
Yeah,
he's got a collection of mustaches. Hello, I'm a brand new Palpatine. Yeah, so I think that's a little outlandish. And also like we're already trying to get ourselves away from
that part. Yeah.
You know, like it just
doesn't feel super realistic to me, but who knows?
No. And it just would muddy the waters probably more too. So but cut to next, a couple years from now, they do season 2 and there he is. But then again, it's like, how do you even do a young Palpatine? Like, that's going to take so much digital shit. And
for sure.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do it. I want to say that right now so that if it does happen, we can do a nice edit.
Just whatever, Daniel said. No,
they never do that. So yeah, I think that was pretty much all of my notes.
Okay, well,
I could talk about it for a long time, just because I definitely I think that the discourse changed quite a lot after this last episode, because people were like, it's just there's already like people making fun of it on TikTok where they're like there's these comedians that are saying like, "Oh my god, they ruined Star Wars. I hate this." And then they show fucking Yoda, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my god, this is so fucking peak Star Wars." Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So I it's very interesting. We've got Yoda. They told us that we weren't going to get Yoda, and I guess technically we didn't really get Yoda. He wasn't really in the show. He was sort of in the, kind of post-credits scene.
Post-credits-ish scene.
Yeah. He never even spoke.
I mean, he didn't, but he was there.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, he was.
Yeah. So how much of a presence he'll be in season 2?
Yeah.
Will be interesting.
Exciting stuff.
Very exciting stuff. I'm kind of thrilled to see where it goes, and like I feel like they've got a good God willing, they got a good idea of like what worked, what didn't, and
I'm sure they did.
I feel like if they didn't review bomb the show and was like actually just like normal reviewing, it probably and the actual like Rotten Tomato score was
pretty
very
decent?
high.
Oh really? Well, there you go.
Look at it one more time because I can't remember what it said.
We have some exciting stuff coming up. We've got Deadpool and Wolverine next week, which I'm sure we will cover. What's the tomatoes? Let me hear.
We're going to see it together. I'm so excited. It got an 80%
it's
on
pretty
Rotten
good.
Tomatoes.
Pretty good.
And wait a minute, what the hell? Yeah, 80%. The audience score is sitting at a very warm 16%.
Oh my god.
The audience is so dumb.
So rude.
I know. I'm literally like, everybody's
that's unnecessarily low.
It's unnecessarily low. And I don't want to like completely, I literally said those people are dumb, and that's kind of like rude. I shouldn't say that because like
no, I mean there are parts that we agree with, but it's like 16% is crazy.
Yes, I think that you like to fully actually loathe the show, like put so much negative energy, like it's just it's not worth it. It's like if you just like even attempt to enjoy some of it, I feel like your life would be so much better.
It's a good lesson in general, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't like try, obviously be honest about things, but try to look for like good stuff,
because there is good stuff to be had.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Definitely enjoyable things in the Acolyte, and definitely things to improve upon.
And definitely lesbians.
Definitely lesbians. We'll definitely get more lesbians because Star Wars fans love it.
God willing. Well, yeah. So we've got Deadpool and Wolverine coming up next week. Daniel and I are also going to Comic-Con next week.
I can't believe it's already Comic-Con time.
I know,
again.
It's insane. So we definitely will do an episode talking about,
I just don't think there's any way we're getting into Hall H, unfortunately.
Come on, don't give up. Not with that attitude. Look, I'm being you this year.
I really wish we did.
Not with that attitude, Daniel.
Listen, if you want to camp with me.
Oh my God, we're too old to camp.
That's what I'm saying.
Why are they doing camping this year? Why are they not doing like a thing on the app?
Digital something? I know.
Well, that's what they did last year. They did everybody that entered, and then you got like notified if you were selected for the rally.
And we didn't even know about it until after it happened. I remember us like going up to Hall H. I was like, "Well, is there any room?" And they're like, "What the hell?"
And that was last year too, and there wasn't any Hollywood there. So,
right.
Oh man. Well, we're still gonna have a great time.
We're gonna give it the old college try.
Yeah, but there are some exciting things happening in Hall H, particularly they're gonna show a substantial part of the Penguin series.
That sounds cool as hell.
I want to see that. And they've got a big Marvel panel, and
the hype is real, and I'm trying to curb my enthusiasm, but the first like reviews of the small chunk of, well, a pretty large chunk of the movie that people have seen already of Deadpool and Wolverine, they are like touting it as it like rebooting, or I don't know if rebooting, but like breathing like the life that we've needed into the MCU.
Into the MCU.
Yeah.
No, I don't doubt it. The Deadpool movies are just awesome. So it's going to be a fun time.
I'm excited.
Me too. Well,
Mostly excited about popcorn.
Yeah, he's going to have an enormous tub of that thing.
With lots of, it's best with lots of butter.
Anything else you must say before we go away?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all I would like to say.
All right. Well, good. Because I'm done listening to you talk.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm done with you.
Oh, gosh. Well, this was our conversation.
It was.
That we had about the last 2 episodes of The Acolyte. Thanks for listening. I'm Alyssa Simmons.
And I'm Daniel Dawson.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.